Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So last episode we made a trade to help out our penalty kill lines, and it ended up helping us get into the playoffs as we finished 40, 28, and 14, just barely making it into the playoffs by like the skin of our teeth, I think it was. Like, as if we look at the standings here, you could see that we were one of the worst teams in our division, or well, worst teams that made it into the playoffs in our division. But in terms of the Eastern Conference in general, we were the 6th-seeded team, and yeah, we literally just barely made it because the Islanders and stuff like that kind of fell off near the end as well. But yeah, it was a really close race to get into the playoffs, and it's good that we actually made it into the playoffs because this team hasn't been in the playoffs in a few seasons, so it's good to be back. And we are going to be taking on a tough team in the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the playoffs, who finished 49, 24, and 9 on the season, while we finished 40, 28, and 14. So this is probably going to be a very tough matchup for our team to actually win. It's probably going to end up being like that New York Rangers series we had a few years back, where we end up losing in the first round. But if this team can somehow upset this team, I will be pretty surprised, considering this forward core is actually nasty. They got Cademan Heward, they got Tucker Lawton, and Gaspard St. Jacques, which is a very good top line. They also have a very, very good second line. Like, this might be one of the best second lines I've seen. Davis McCauley, Reese Strudwick, and Bryant Klimchuk. Their third line is also really good. Boussier, Grafchev, and Yakimovs. A good fourth line is Schneider, Eves, and Anisimov as well. Like, that center depth is pretty nice when you have a fourth line center who is as good as your top line center. And then defensively, they're also pretty solid still for the top two, but their top 4 pairing and their top 6 pairing is not that great. So their defensive core could use a little bit better of an upgrade, but obviously they're probably right up against a cap or something. So that's their defensive core. And then goalie-wise, they also have some pretty good goalies in Gervais Chouinard and Marshall Slater. So yeah, this is probably going to be a tough team to beat. The only way I think we could win this series is if we could beat that defensive core that's not that good on like the bottom 4 pairings, or bottom 2 pairings, or bottom 4 defensemen. So yeah, let's see if we can manage to beat these guys. I don't think we're going to. I'd be surprised if we even win one game, but let's see if we could pull off an upset here, because we don't really have a lot of time left of this franchise mode series before it ends, because we're pretty much close to year number 25, and also NHL 22 is pretty much right around the corner, so we're running out of time. Let's see if we could get a win here in New Jersey on the road as that underdog team. Let's see what happens. First period of game number 1, we're up 2-0. Okay, leave it to Dingman and Matthews. Both Cadens score goals. Those are the 2 guys we need to have score goals in this playoff matchup, because obviously both those guys are 2 of our top players. Shots are 13-7 though in favor of New Jersey, but we're up 2-0, which is a good sign. Second period, how are we up 4-0? Okay, Garrison scores and Reardon scores. So a very good performance from our boys so far in this series. I don't know if it's going to continue like that for the entire series, but this is a really good game 1. I believe that's Reardon's first ever playoff goal, because I don't think he was with us the last time we made the playoffs. But the shots are 23-17 in favor of us. We're up 4-0. Let's just lock this one down. Pull off the upset in game 1. I don't know if we're going to be able to win 4 games against this team, but Eves scores, that's their 4th liner, and then Schumacher scores, I believe, his first ever playoff goal. Savonin makes it 6-1. Damn, our offense all of a sudden is doing really good, and is Andrews, who we traded for to help out our penalty kill with, makes it 7-1. Utter domination in this first game. Eves makes it 7-2. That's their 4th liner again. And we're going to win 7-2 in game 1 against a very tough New Jersey team, which I didn't expect us to score 7 goals against. But our offense was fantastic. So Matthews from Dika and Dingman. Dingman from Dika and Matthews to the top line. Garrison from Belanger and De Kaiser. And Reardon from Matthews and Dingman. Schumacher from Sealfido and Lilia, Savonin from Dingman, and Andrews from Powell and Savonin. So it looks like our top 3 lines all did pretty good. Any really badly minus players for New Jersey in that game? Yeah, a couple -3 players. And wait, actually, Gervais Chouinard was not good at all. That goalie played like trash, and I think he was a really good regular season goalie. So Dingman had 4 points in that game. Matthews had 3. It's good to see our top guns getting going early in this playoff matchup, because sometimes they don't show up, which is good. So nice 926 save percentage and 2 goals against average for Stevenson. So good first game also from Maximus Stevenson, which is what we need. Dingman's first star, Matthews the second star, and Eves for New Jersey gets the third star. So somehow we managed to score 7 goals on a good team like New Jersey. I guess it was because we took advantage of that defensive core I was mentioning. So if we could continue to do so, we could definitely beat these guys. But we definitely have to continue to contain their offense, because that's probably where they excel at the most, I would assume, in terms of like goals for or whatever. But so let's get into game number 2. Still in New Jersey, coming off a nice 7-2 victory. Let's see if we could take a 2-0 series lead here. First period, and what the heck is even happening with this team? We're up 4-2. Their defensive core is crapping the bed, and their goaltender's crapping the bed too. Eves scores, so Eves has been scoring all their goals almost so far. He makes it 1-0 for New Jersey, but then Andrews scores his second in the playoffs. We brought him in from Minnesota at the trade deadline, or around for like Alexandrov and stuff like that. Rodriguez then scores his first ever playoff goal, which is a short-handed goal, I think. And then that makes it 2-1. Then Biggs makes it 3-1. McCauley then makes it 3-2. But Isaac Dika scores to make it 4-2. Shots are 13-12 in favor of us. Our offense has been fantastic to start this playoff run. Second period, we're up 6-4. I don't like the signs of that. I feel like we're going to lose 7-6 now. Just too much offense going on. Eves scores again for them, and McCauley scores again for them. So there's only 2 guys scoring their goals so far. But then Savonin scores on a power play. That's his second in the night. And Dika scores again. And we're up 6-4. Javier Chouinard is now allowed 13 goals in 2 games. But he's still in net, apparently, to start the third period. The shots are 24-21 in favor of us. Let's just lock this down if we can. Because if we could score this much goals against a top team like New Jersey, anything is possible this year, it looks like. I mean, we still have to win 2 more games after this game if we win this one. Come on, boys, let's just lock this down. Lock it down. Good stuff, good stuff. And we are going to take a 2-0 series lead as Isaac Dika gets a hat trick with the empty netter as we win 7-4. We have 14 goals in our first 2 games. We're almost playing like the Toronto Blue Jays in baseball right now. Jeez, what a game. Andrews from Powell and Hardikainen, Rodriguez from Lilly and Stapleton, Biggs from Rodriguez, Dika from Dingman and Matthews, Savonin from Matthews and Dika from Dingman and Stapleton, and Dika from Dingman and Matthews. Our top 6 is phenomenal right now. I don't know if it's going to continue this entire round, but Isaac Dika with 4 points, Dingman with 3, Matthews with 3, Stapleton and Rodriguez both had 2. Our team is absolutely nuts in terms of plus-minus right now. Somehow DeKaiser was a -1 after all that. And it wasn't as good of a game from Stevenson, but we got the victory, and that's pretty much all that matters. So Dika the first star, McCauley the second star for them with 4 points, and Matthews the third star for us with 3 points. Okay, this is definitely a really surprising start to the playoffs. Obviously, they scored more goals in that game, so they've scored 6 goals in 2 games, which is not great defensively, but we've scored 14 goals, which is more than we scored in a quite a long time, I'd say. Let's go into game 3 and waste no time. This might be a really short episode if we continue to play like this, but we head to home ice. Let's see if we can continue to do what we did on the road. First period, and it's 1-1. I'll take that. Isaac Dika again. Man, this guy is stepping up. If he steps up, and then if Savonin continues to score like he's done his entire career, we could be deadly. Grachev, though, tied it up for them late. Shots are 12-10 in favor of us, but it's a 1-1 game. Second period, then we're down 3-1. That's not good. Boussier and St. Jacques score. We're down by 2 goals for the first time in the series. We're out shooting them, though, 19-16. Let's see if we can get 2 goals in this third period and tie it back up. Or are we going to lose the game on home ice? It might be one of those series where both teams play bad on home ice. As Boussier makes it 4-1. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose this one. Savonin makes it 4-2, though. So good to see Savonin getting back on the score sheet again. And then St. Jacques scores again on the power play. Makes it a 5-2 game for New Jersey. Yeah, we haven't been that good defensively in this playoff so far, except for the first game. But we're going to lose 5-2 in game 3. Our offense kind of dried up. But good to see Deacon and Savonin still scoring goals and that top line still doing good. But we got to play a bit better defensively if we want to hold off New Jersey. As those first 2 games were really good, but that game was not that great. Like, there's probably, there's a couple minus players in this game. Or actually quite a few. And yeah, Stevenson didn't play good again. I might turn to Rohan House. Because Rohan House obviously is a Detroit Red Wings legend from this franchise mode. So I think I should give him an opportunity considering he might retire at the end of the season. So I think I am going to give Stevenson a break. Dingman has 8 points in 3 games. But most of them are in the first 2 games of the series. But yeah, that top line's been fantastic so far. But yeah, we're going to give Stevenson a break. Because he's not been that good in the last 2 games. Give Rohan House a start. And I think everything else will stay the same. Yeah, everything else will stay the same, I think. So yeah, let's get into game number 4. See if we can play better on home ice with Rohan House in net. Because obviously we want to knock out New Jersey as fast as possible. Because if they tie the series here, we're probably going to end up losing in 6 games, I would say. So here we go, game number 4. Let's see if we could take a 3-1 series lead on one of the best teams in the league. First period. That's not good, Rohan. That's not good. We're down 3-1 after 1. Cialfito, though, pulls us within 2 late in the period. But Lawton, St. Jacques, and Grachev score. Cialfito with our goal. Shots are 13-9 in favor of New Jersey, but this is not looking good. I feel like they're going to come back and win this series now. Unless Rohan House could play good in the second. Second period, still 3-1. Okay, that's not too bad. 20-18 the shots. We're down by 2 goals going into the third. Can we score some goals here again like we did in the first 2 games, please, boys? Or are we going to have a tie series headed to New Jersey, which I don't really like because I feel like they could just easily win on home ice. But yeah, it's one of those series where we're going to win the first 2 games and then just drop a bunch. But Dingman, okay, never mind. Dingman and Reardon score, and it's a 3-3 game all of a sudden. Penalty kill, a long-ass penalty kill near the end of the game. I don't like that. But we're going to hold them off, and it's a 3-3 game going into OT. I almost spoke too soon as Dingman and Reardon score almost a minute apart. But it is a tie game going into overtime here in Detroit. Who's going to score the game-winning goal for us, please? And we're not going to score it. It's going to be Grachev for New Jersey as Stevenson was thrown in net after, I guess, that bad first period. But we're going to lose in OT, and it's a tie series headed back to New Jersey. I mean, it's a closer series than I thought it would be, but our first 2 games are probably way uncharacteristic of this team now. I don't think we're going to score 7 goals again against this team. Cialfito from Sampson and Reardon, Dingman from Deacon Matthews. Those guys continuing their point streak. And Reardon from Garrison and DeKaiser. And Reardon got the 2nd star in that game, which is good. Stevenson played actually really good since coming in for Rohan House. Almost got the victory in that game too. Okay. So we have a tie series. Maybe I'll make some more line changes just to make sure. I don't want to address the top line because the top line's been fantastic. But we are going to move Reardon up in the lineup. I think. Yeah, well, we're going to move Reardon up in the lineup, and I'm going to move Andrews down. Even though there is a better chemistry with like this, I think Reardon deserves the opportunity to be up there because he's an 84 now. So we're going to do that. And in defensive core-wise, I don't think there's really much I can do because of the chemistry, right? Yeah. We got to keep the defensive core the same. I could throw Wisniewski into the lineup instead of somebody like Schumacher. But I don't really know if I want to do that. 80 on faceoffs because Wisniewski usually puts up a lot of points when he's thrown into the lineup. Because last year this guy had 3 points in 3 playoff games. Or actually not last year. Last time we played in the playoffs. Now I don't know if I want to take out Schumacher though because he's listed as a depth forward, but he's not a bad player. I think I'm going to take out Schumacher for 1 game and give Wisniewski a chance. And that also improves our chemistry. So we're going to try that just to see if Wisniewski can get this team a series win. But right now I feel like we're going to just lose 4 straight games against New Jersey and lose the series after that hot start we had. But it's a tie series headed into New Jersey. Let's see if we could take a 3-2 series lead, or are we going to be on the brink of elimination? Come on, boys. First period, And 2-2. Okay, I like that. Our offense is going early. Boussier scores. Matthews and Dingman score again. These two guys are on point streaks right now. Same with Dika, I think. And McCauley scored, and it's a 2-2 game after one. The shots are 18-13 in favor of us, so that's a really good start for our shooting. Hopefully that continues in the second period. Then we're down 3-2. McCauley scores again. It seems like it's only McCauley and Eves and stuff that seems to be scoring a lot for New Jersey. Well, actually, as of lately, not the case, but early on it was the case. But we're down by one going into the third. Shots are 30-22, so their goalie's actually having a pretty good game. Let's see what happens here in this third period. Come on, boys, let's size this up. Don't want to lose 3 straight games against these guys. And McCauley makes it 4-2. That's probably the dagger. Power play opportunity. We're not going to score on it. I mean, at least our top guns are getting going in the playoffs, which is something that doesn't happen every year, but we're going to probably end up losing 4 straight games. Yep, we're going to lose 4-2, and we are going to be on the brink of elimination after having a 2-0 series lead at one point. So Matthews from Deacon Dingman, and Dingman from Deacon Matthews. Damn, that top line is fantastic. I love it. You got to keep that top line together for like all the rest of the series. But yeah, looks like we're going to be eliminated more than likely unless we could somehow win a game and force a game 7 and then somehow take advantage of them on their own home ice, which is going to be probably pretty tough, even though we did pretty good against them in their first 2 games on home ice. What do we want to do to this game 7? Do I go back to Rohan House, even though he was terrible? Very terrible. Man, how bad is his stats? He allowed 3 goals on 7 shots. Yikes. We'll probably go back to Stevenson still. I'm definitely not going to change too much around. I might move DeKaiser down. Yeah, I'm going to move DeKaiser down because Savonen's still been scoring. So, and Savonen could be on his last legs this year too. So, yeah, we're going to do something like that. I'm going to leave everything else the same. Wisnowski was a -1. I'm going to take him back out of the lineup and throw back in Schumacher. And I guess I got to keep everything else the same. I could move Samson down in the second period, but I don't think I want to do that. Yeah, I think I'm going to just keep everything else the same. Going into this all-important game 7, game 6. As we look to fight off elimination on home ice, we're going to do a real-time simulation. Hopefully we can force a game 7, but if not, I mean, this has been a pretty good series for a team that doesn't look like they could even contend with a 49-win team, but let's see what happens in game 6. Come on, boys. Let's force a game 7. Let's get that top line getting going again because they've had points in every single game so far in the series, and Garrison makes it 1-0 on the power play. I'll take that. I don't think Garrison has scored that much in this series, and Stapleton makes it 2-0. Okay. This is a good start. Way better start than last game, I guess. And we're going to be up 2-0 after the first period. The shots are 10-9 in favor of us. Garrison and Stapleton with the goal, so 2 unlikely heroes. Let's see what happens here in the second period. See if we can continue to hold on to this lead. Power play opportunity early. We don't convert. Come on, boys. Let's lock this game down. There you go. Dingman makes it 3-0, continuing his point streak to 6 games now. Final few minutes of the second period. And we are going to go up 4-0 as Garrison gets a late goal. That's probably going to seal the deal, and we're probably going to go to a game 7 situation unless this team falls apart in the third, which could happen. Shots are 20-16 in favor of us. We're up 4-0. Once this lock just went down, Klimchuk makes it a 4-1 game early, which I don't really like. Penalty kill, it's 5-1. Matthews with a short-handed goal. I feel like we're going to lose still 6-5 or something. Hopefully that's not the case. Robertson makes it 5-2. Come on, boys. Hold them off. McCauley makes it 5-3. I'm not liking this. I am not liking this. Okay, we're going to hold them off. Yep, we're going to hold them off and win 5-3. Jeez, I hit my mic. So hopefully that didn't make too loud of a noise. But we win 5-3 and force a game 7 against a tough team in New Jersey, which is pretty awesome to see. And our top line has been fantastic, picking up points in every game so far this series. So Garrison from Belanger and Reardon, Stapleton from Belanger and Garrison. So that second line was getting going. And then also Reardon on the power play and fourth line or third line, one of the two. And then Dingman from Dika and Samson, and Garrison from Belanger, Matthews from Reardon. So, yeah, Matthews, Dingman, and Dika have points in every single game this series so far. Not as much points in this series, this game, but still. Garrison the first star with 3 points, Belanger the second star with 3 points, and Matthews the third star with 1 goal. But we're going to a Game 7 situation against a team that I didn't think we'd even win one game against, but it's a road game. We scored 14 goals against them on the road in the first 2 games of the series, so hopefully we can continue to do that. But our top line has been definitely our best line by far. I think I'm going to keep the lines the exact same as I had them for last game. Let's see what happens. That means Rohan House might never play another NHL game if he retires after this if we lose, so let's see what happens. Can we go to the second round of the playoffs, or are we going to lose in 7 games to a tough New Jersey team? Real-time simulation the entire game again. Let's hope our top line can get going again. And Biggs scores. Nicely done, Biggs. Marcos Biggs with a huge Game 7 goal, and Garrison makes it 2-0. Let's go. That's the exact start we needed against a tough team like New Jersey. But Klimchuk is going to make it 2-1 with a power play goal against. That's not good. Final few minutes of the first period, and we're still up 2-1, which is good. The shots are 9-9. Shout out to Brooklyn 9-9. We're up 2-1 after 1. Let's see what happens here in the second period. Garrison's off to a good start in the last 2 games, which is good that our second line's getting going too, because we can't just rely on our top line all the time. We don't score there. Penalty kill, and St. Jacques scores on the power play. They've scored 2 unanswered goals. That's not good. It's a 2-2 game here in Game 7. Final few minutes of the second period, and it's going to be 2-2 going into the third period of a Game 7 situation. The shots are 20-18 in favor of New Jersey. Comes down to this. Might come down to this period, might come down to OT, who knows. But one of these 2 teams is going to be going to the second round. Let's see what happens. Come on, boys. We need our top guns to get going, and Boussier scores for them. They've scored 3 unanswered goals. That always happens when you go up 2-0, it seems like. Let's tie this up, boys. Dingman, Dika, Matthews, you have no points so far this game, I'm pretty sure. Power play opportunity late. We aren't going to score on it. We're going to get eliminated in 7 games. Yep. We get eliminated in 7 games by 1 goal only, so we almost beat a New Jersey team that we shouldn't have beat. But that really sucks, because we are running pretty low on time now in this franchise mode, like 1 or 2 more seasons left for sure. But our top guns didn't have any points in that game, which is the first game they didn't have any points in this series. So they didn't show up, and we ended up losing. But we had a 2-0 lead at one point, and then it just squandered by Klimchuk, St. Jacques, and Boussier. So, but Biggs from Rodriguez and Cialfido, and Garrison from De Kaiser and Belanger. But unfortunately, we lose in 7 games. Matthews was still +1, which is good to see. Dingman was an even 0. And Ndika was an even 0. But those guys didn't have any points in that Game 7. 3 stars, Gervais Chouinard, St. Jacques, and Boussier, so 3 Frenchmen probably. Man, that really sucks that we lost that series. I thought we actually had a good chance after we brought it into a Game 7, but that top line though was fantastic. I can't be more impressed with that top line. Might be the last year for some of these guys in the NHL, because Matthews is like 35, I think, right? So let's just take a look at our player stats for the playoffs, and then we will sim to the awards for the season. So Matthews had 11 points in 7 games. He was a +6 as well. Fantastic playoff round from Caden Matthews to add to his other good playoffs that he's had in the past. 91 points in 107 playoff games. Definitely a good playoff player. And then Belanger, 5 assists in 7 games. Pau, 3 assists, but both of them didn't have any goals. Schumacher, 1 goal in 6 games. And Visnovsky had nothing. Left wing wise, Dika was pretty good. 4 goals, 7 assists for 11 points. 3 of those goals came in 1 game, though. So he kind of slowed down in scoring wise, but still put up a lot of points. Savonin kind of was off to a good start early on, but slowed down a little bit. 4 points in 7 games. De Kaiser, 3 points in 7 games. He might retire this year. Andrews, 2 goals in 7 games. And then right wing wise, Dingman was over point per game as well. 12 points in 7 games. Garrison 6 points, Reardon 5, and Cialfido 3. So if we look at our forwards, our top line pretty much carried our team and our offense. It's just unfortunate we could not beat the Devils. And then in terms of our defensive core, Rodriguez was pretty solid, 4 points in 7 games. Stapleton was not too bad, 3 points, and he was a +7. Biggs was really quiet. He might end up retiring this year too. Lilia 2 points, Samson 2 points, and Hardikainen 1 point. And in goalie-wise, Stevenson wasn't that great, and Rohan House was terrible in the short span he played. He played 10 minutes only. Interesting. So an okay first round though still, even though we lost, because I didn't expect us to go to 7 games with a 49 winning team. So let's sim to the draft now, find out who wins the Stanley Cup. We aren't going to look at the retirements this episode, I don't think, though, because it might be a little bit too long if I do it that way. Those will be at the start of next episode, but let's see. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to win the Stanley Cup, and Cleveland wins the AHL. So Carolina, the Stanley Cup champion for one of the last seasons. Let's take a look who was on their Stanley Cup winning team. Actually, I should take a look at the playoff stats instead of regular season, just to see if there was any former players of ours on that Carolina team. Rory Donovan doesn't really look like any former players so far. Yeah, I don't recognize any of these guys. No, none of them are former players. And then goalie-wise, they had Bartkowski and Petrov. So that's the Stanley Cup winning Carolina Hurricanes team. Let's take a look at those. Actually, let's take a look at the playoff tree first. So Carolina beat Nashville in the finals in 5 games. But Carolina had a really good run to the playoffs. They won in 6 games over Pittsburgh, 6 games against New Jersey, who we just lost to. And then they swept Tampa Bay, and then also won in 5 games against Nashville. But Nashville won their first series in 5 games, won their second series in 4, won their third series in 5 games, but then lost in 5 in the finals. Let's take a look at those awards. So yeah, Carolina the Stanley Cup champions. Edmonton won the President's Trophy for the 2nd straight season. It was Carolina National Cup Finals. Valahadi's going to win the Art Ross. Kukin the Hart. Komisarek wins the James Norris. Andreoff wins the Lady Byng. McLeod wins the Calder for Ottawa. Not McLeod again. Russ Blake wins the Conn Smythe for Carolina. Eric Malone, I think it is, wins back-to-back Vezinas for Edmonton. Gervais Chouinard is going to win the William M. Jennings. Doughty wins the Masterton for New Jersey's. New Jersey's coach also won the Jack Adams Rivers. Hargrave wins the Selke. Kukanen wins the Lindsay. And Henley won the Richard with an insane season this year. And AHL-wise, any awards for our AHL affiliate? None. So that is that. The Stanley Cup champion winning Carolina Hurricanes. What did the Nashville Predators look like, out of curiosity, though? So this was the Nashville Predators team that lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, led by Orlando Stoll. They all said those guys. Okay. Doesn't look like any former players of ours. Maxime Damphousse? Nope. There was a Damphousse we had, though, at one point. How about goalie-wise? They had Jesus Wall. Oh, yeah. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it, I think, for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So going into probably one of the final seasons, this is what the draft class looks like, just in case you wanted to take a look. But yeah, I don't know if our team's going to get another chance of winning Stanley Cup. I did pin this guy because this guy probably's got a really high overall to start with. But most of these guys are probably not going to make a huge impact in the NHL at some point. So, but anyways, guys, this is going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So next episode, we will take it to the draft, the re-sign stage, and I might even do free agency next episode, depending on the case, if we're like how close we are to the end of NHL 21 content, because I feel like NHL 22 could be on like the 10-hour trial could be out within less than a month, so I'm probably gonna end up having to use that for some YouTube content. So yeah, it depends really on that, I guess. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.